And I agree with the conclusions of the report that we need to reform our global financial architecture so that we can have capital that is more capital that is concessional, that is long-term, delivered at scale, that has got speed. I would like to add that it should be delivered at quick speed, and there must be flexibility as well. The global capital markets are very tight right now. We used to be able to borrow commercially at about maximum, if it was high, at 8% per annum. Now we're borrowing at 10%, easily 12%. So clearly there's a tightening of global credit markets, and we need the support. And the reform of the global financial system is part of that support that is needed. Looking at the growth figures, you can see the highest growth in Africa is still rests with what I call the tropics: East Africa, Central Africa, West Africa. Those tend to lead almost in that order. Then number 4 is North Africa. Then number 5 is our side, which is Southern Africa. That's the growth ranking. But what was revealing is also the per capita growth rates, which shows the need for structural transformation. So Africa growing at about 2% in terms of per capita GDP growth. That shows that a lot of work needs to be done. But I think that to achieve structural transformation, we still need to focus more on the enablers. So it's infrastructure development. So investing in rail, in our road transportation, in our energy infrastructure. So this capital needs to go there, and we need long-term capital. It's not easy to invest profitable in the railway sector. It's not easy at all. It always needs government. It always needs some public-private partnership arrangements. I think unless what you do is the following. You perhaps just consider a railway company as 2 companies in one. You've got the passenger, you've got the cargo. Cargo can be commercial, and then it can be used to subsidize the passenger side. Road is a lot easier. Road investment is a lot easier. We know what to do there in terms of concessioning out the roads for 25 years on a BOT arrangement, and then through the toll fees, we're able to support the loan repayments for the SPV. For energy, I see an opportunity in when you really combine the investment in the solar space, solar energy space with climate finance. We know that, for example, that most IPP projects in solar space are profitable at tariffs of about 9 cents per kilowatt hour, 9 US cents per kilowatt hour. But we can lower that level, I think, easily to about 6 cents if we take into account the profits that the investors will make from selling carbon credits from the solar energy facility. They can do that. You can increase the internal rate of return of a project by also considering the extra yield they will earn from the voluntary market in terms of carbon credits, because you earn those carbon credits not just by creating a carbon sink, but also by not polluting in the first place. And solar energy allows you to do that. So I see opportunity. Moving on to my third point, which is on agriculture and climate response, because we need this new financial architecture to respond to climate shocks. In my region, we're affected by that right now in my country, Zimbabwe. What we should do is just invest in more dams. Where you've got potential water bodies, build a lot of dams. We have a strategy. We're building dams, a major dam in every province. So we've got about 20 major dams. The next stage now is to invest in irrigation so we can evacuate that water onto the land. We find that our drought cycles tend to have a 2-year gestation. So we know that if we have good rains and we harvest enough water, if we have a dry season, another one, we will be okay. So investing in dams is very, very critical for that transformation. My last point, my penultimate point, is on the mining sector. We have to insist on beneficiation to achieve transformation in that sector. For example, in the iron and steel industry, what we've done in Zimbabwe, we've insisted that the company must not just, that's investing in iron ore, should not just invest in iron ore, export it, that ore raw, but they must beneficiate. So they are moving all the way down the value chain and are producing steel. So in the next few years, we're going to establish the largest a steel company in sub-Saharan Africa producing 1 million tons of carbon steel per annum. So it's very important to focus on the beneficiation. We're insisting again on beneficiation for the lithium sector. No raw lithium can be exported from Zimbabwe without beneficiation to the level of lithium carbonate, at least. And companies are responding and building concentrators and, to beneficiate that steel. Finally, on domestic resource mobilization
Minister,
and capital markets.
30 seconds, please.
30 seconds. This is a critical issue. We need to deepen domestic capital markets to raise additional capital from the private sector, from our pension funds, but also focus on innovative, domestic resource mobilization, including, mobile transfer, money transfer, taxation, and so forth. So these are some of the issues that we need to focus on, but it's critical that we focus on overall a change in architecture of our global financial system. And I thank the report for pointing us in the right direction.
Thank
you very much.